Coach, with a lot on the line, your senior day, maybe playing for a bowl, seemed like the team came out pretty flat. Is there any explanation? I mean, what did you see?
Yeah, Siv, I don't think we were flat. I thought the guys were ready to play. We just didn't execute very well, and I thought we played well enough defensively to win the game. We didn't execute very well on offense. Certainly didn't catch any breaks, but we got to play better than that. I give them credit. That's a team you have to get ahead of, and you're in control of the game, and we came out right away and made a mistake on the first play of the game again. And just too many mistakes and bad things happening to overcome.
Caleb Henry, KLIN.
Coach, what was the offensive game plan coming into this one, knowing how many yards a rush Minnesota was giving up this season?
I don't even really understand that question. Every week we look at whatever plays we think give us the best chance to move the ball. I think the guys were in good situations. At times we operated well. At other times we just didn't execute very well. We got to make sure we play better than that, coach better than that.
Sean Callahan.
Hey, Coach, you guys went 0 for 8 on your final third down plays to close the game. I mean, what do you think the key issues? Why were you guys struggling? Adrian was missing wide open guys down the field. Sacks were being given up. I mean, what were you seeing out there? Why you guys were struggling on those key third down plays?
You know, I hate to even say this. We had our best week of practice offensively maybe since I've been in Nebraska. So I expected us to come out and play. We completed everything in practice. We blocked well. But you're right. We whiffed on a few blocks early on. We put a ball on the ground. We threw an interception. We shanked a punt. We missed some wide open guys. We gave up some sacks. And I think maybe a little bit is once you get behind in the game and things start rolling the wrong way with a young team. I think they started pressing just a little bit to try to get back in the game. But that being said, they responded after we spotted them 10 points at the beginning of the game and got the lead, and we just didn't execute very well.
Sam McEwen.
Scott, with 37 seconds left in the third quarter, you had an opportunity to run out the clock and then run those very same pass plays in the fourth quarter with the wind. Why did you choose to call them against the wind instead of just running out the clock and starting the fourth quarter with those plays?
Yeah, we talked about that on the headset, Sam, and that situation in the game. But first of all, it wasn't that windy on the field. We talked about it at the beginning of the third quarter, and we didn't think the wind was really a factor in the passing game. In fact, we overthrew a couple with the wind, so we felt good about just calling our best stuff. And we got down there in the third quarter and busted on one of our plays up front and on a 2nd and 5, and got a ball tipped on third. And hindsight, you maybe just run it a couple times, and then we missed a field goal again. Just a lot of things didn't go well for us today, and we got to play better.
You obviously felt pretty good about your passing game today. I think you called 31 passes for 31 passes. First blush, what do you think the biggest issue was as to why it didn't come together?
Not all those were pass calls. Some of them are RPOs. Nickel sticks his nose in too far, and we throw it outside. And I thought we handled those well. We hit all those passes in practice all week. We didn't hit them today for whatever reason. I thought we ran it well at times, but it's just not consistent enough yet. Our young players especially got to get a little more consistent. We got to be able to rely on that a little more. One time on first down we call a play and it'll crease for 9. The next time we call it, it's 2nd and 11. And consistency's got to get a lot better.
Mitch Sherman.
Hey, Scott, I know Connor Culp has been really reliable for you all season. After his miss early in the second half, offensively, not a lot came together for 2-3 drives after that. Did that moment take something out of your offensive guys? It was a chance to tie the game. What did you see momentum wise from your team in the wake of him missing that field goal?
Maybe it took the wind out of our sails. I don't know. It would have been nice to be tied right there. The way the game unfolded, probably we should have been ahead at that point if a lot of those things hadn't gone the way they went. But we got to be able to respond. We had them in some good stuff at times. They did a good job coaching at times. That's the X's and O's battle is going to kind of come and go. Sometimes they're going to be in the right call. One of the drives, I think if we had a chance to call it over, we would have called a different play. I think we threw it on 1st and 2nd down and put ourselves in a 3rd and 10. But we just got to be more consistent with everything we do so we can hang our hat on stuff a little more.
Was Adrian limited at all after? I know he came out and had his arm looked at, and he was running hard in the second half. Was he limited at all in what you could do with him in the pass game?
No. He's been dealing with what happened to him last week all week, but threw great in practice all week. So I don't know if that was a factor or not.
Brian Christopherson.
Hey, Scott, how discouraging was that last Minnesota drive of the first half? And what feedback did you get on the field about the Taylor Britt targeting where they overturned it?
I don't get much feedback on those things. I don't really know. I haven't even seen it. All I saw was on the big screen. It just seems like those things work against us quite a bit for some reason. Just that play alone, and we're probably going to go in at halftime ahead, and it's probably a different second half. But those are the breaks in football, and just hope some of them go our way.
The energy you saw from your team when you went to the locker room, even though they were behind after that, what were you feeling at that point about how you were going to respond?
Yeah, the energy's been great all week. The leadership's been good all week. Practice was really good all week, and that was my message for the team is the way they've approached the last 3 weeks is the way they need to approach every practice, every game from here on. And the more often they do that, the better chance we have of being more consistent and making all the plays. But we need to practice like that all the time, and it's disappointing. I'm hurting for the kids. I love the team. They stuck it out through a lot of rough stuff this year with everything going on. It's just been a crazy year, and I love these kids for the fight they have in them. And I thought the energy and the preparation were good. We just didn't play very well.
Parker Gabriel.
Hey, Scott, that's 2 straight home games where the first play of the game's been a simple play, and it's gone really wrong. I mean, how frustrating is that, I guess, as a play caller? And can you just describe how bad of a spot that puts you in right from the first play of the game?
Yeah, you just can't start games that way. We try to execute something simple that we think is going to get yards for us, positive yards for us on first down, and you complete it 40 times in practice all week, and it's a little off, and it's a horrible way to start the game.
And then is Dedrick Mills at this point, is he capable of giving you, 20 or more carries, or is he still a little bit limited as he gets back into work?
I think he's close to full strength. I'm not sure we'd want to leave him in there the whole game, but I think he's close.
Andy Kendi, KTV.
Hey, Scott, you kind of touched on it earlier, but what do you say to the team after having such a good week of practice moving forward? You still got a game coming up next week. How do you keep these kids in it?
Kids will stay in it. This team's together. They care about each other. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about getting wins at this point. I love how our mentality has changed, how the kids are caring about each other. I love the feel around the building. It's the best it's been. But you got to stack those things on top of each other and practices on top of each other. And even when things are going well, sometimes the breaks don't go your way and you don't play well. And the more work we can get, the more practice we can get, the more confidence they can get, the more consistency we'll get. And I really don't know what else to say about it other than that. I thought the preparation was great, and we just didn't play very well on offense, especially.
Couple more quick ones for Coach. Back to Sam McEwen.
Is Pristup injured, out?
Not available, out, yeah.
My other really quick question is: Do you feel like there's, a feeling of wanting to do something different with the pass game that you're just not allowed to do right now because of whatever reason? Is there some piece of it that you feel like is missing, especially from the downfield aspect?
No, I loved our game plan going in, and I thought we had some guys open. Wanda was open on one, and we missed him, and we had a corner route open and missed it. Had some other guys open on a couple others and got beat in protection, and that's where it's just got to be consistency, Sam. You got to hit the majority of them. You got to protect the majority of the time, and it's not an excuse. It's not meant to be an excuse, but we're still playing a lot of young guys, and as they grow, they're going to win more often than they lose, and you can't call however many pass plays we called and miss 5 and get sacked, get beat in protection 2 or 3 times, and throw an interception. Those mistakes get you beat in this league.
All right, last one for Coach. We'll go back to Steve Sipple.
All that said about the offense and the youth, did you think at this point, 7 games in, that offense would be farther along and we wouldn't be having this sort of conversation?
Yeah, I thought we played well last week offensively. This week at times we looked really good. It's hard to get a rhythm in that game too, Sip. When you get behind and they're taking as much time off the clock as they possibly can. Seemed like we had a media timeout before every offensive drive. It just never felt like we got clicking. But it's hard to talk about. I see it coming in practice. I see how well we're executing in practice. It didn't show up on the field today often enough, and too many mistakes for us to overcome. But I got confidence in these guys.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll have players here shortly, guys.